She's recruited me into ARMY, basically. She's recruited the whole office. Alrighty, what's going on, guys? I'm Jeff.
I'm Taylor.
What are we gonna watch today?
We're gonna watch xCeleste, BTS from Nobodies to Legends. I've seen this video requested to a bunch of reactors all the time, but I guess I've never watched the whole thing, so I'm gonna watch it with Jeff. If you don't already know, I'm fully BTS ARMY already. I just haven't seen this
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
specific video.
And I am becoming ARMY. She's recruited me into ARMY, basically. She's recruited the whole office to become ARMY. I guess I consider myself a fan, but I'm nowhere near. She's like a general in ARMY. I'm like a private in training, basically. Let's watch this.
둘, 셋, 방탄! 안녕하세요, 방탄소년단입니다. 안녕하세요, 방탄소년단입니다.
데뷔한 지 이제 오늘로 16일이니까 5일째인데요. 완전 생초짜 신인입니다.
무슨 거예요?
네, 감독님들이 정말 저희들의 이름을 모르시거든요. 신인이다 보니.
이 이름표가 없이도 저의 이름을 정말 아셔서 저의 얼굴만 보고도 누구신지 아실 수 있게 정말 그날까지 꼭 입어보도록 하겠습니다.
Man, I remember this from your video.
정말 산 넘어 산이라는 말이 딱 맞는 게 정말 데뷔하면 모든 게 다 잘 되고 뭔가 괜찮을 것 같았는데 정말 또 더 큰 세상을 보니까 더 큰 고민을 하게 되고
Wow.
What? Shut the front door.
You know, for the makeup thing, they're not the first to do makeup. In the 80s, there would be hairbands. You know what hairbands are? You've heard of them?
Is it Kiss kind of bands?
Kiss or Motley Crue and those guys or whatever. Mm-hmm. And there's actually not a documentary. It's like a movie about Motley Crue on Netflix, and it shows those guys. Yes, they wore makeup and did their hair and stuff, but they were not girly at all, kind of thing. So it's just stage kind of thing. Anyway,
it's because those people that were criticizing them were from the underground rap community,
right,
where rappers usually don't wear makeup.
Right.
But it's changing now, thankfully.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm saying too, though, is that there has always been criticism of performers wearing makeup or people wearing makeup if it's not considered normal or traditional or whatever. But it's a performance thing. I didn't know any of this.
환호가 끝나기도 전에 비난이 몰려왔다. 열심히 하는 것만으로는 아무것도 이룰 수 없을 것 같았다. 꿈, 열정, 노력은 아무 힘이 없는 것 같았다.
BTS!
방탄소년단.
BTS!
20-1 made some really regrettable remarks about BTS.
When I first heard something Korean had exploded in America, I got worried.
Yikes.
I don't know. I think they look very nice.
That is not what you were saying during the break!
How did this become a thing in Western culture where all these grown men and little girls are off to little K-pop boys?
Listen, the guys were snubbed. They've broken all these records. They've had an epic year. They should be in all the major categories. I don't like the fact that they've separated them.
Sorry to interrupt you, Denny, but that's it's crazy because they constantly outsell American counterparts. Yeah. They outperform them, but they're still not acknowledged in the way they should be.
They're really trying to maintain their identity, and there is a barrier there when it comes to the Korean language. Like, obviously, there's going to be some North American audiences that aren't going to have that on rotation, and it's still an issue with radio. That's the big thing. Like,
can I pause right there? Remember we were talking about this yesterday? Like, part of the reason why I'm a fan of BTS is because they are breaking down these barriers, and like, I forget how it came up. I think Keenan asked, like, what was it like for me growing up in high school? So I went to high school in Chicago, in a suburb, mostly Caucasian, predominantly Caucasian, not even like mostly. Like, for example, in grade school and we called it junior high, we were one of like 3, so maybe 4 non-white families in like the school. Maybe 10-15 years ago, it was sort of this like unthinkable that in the United States that a non-English artist could be popular. But then when Gangnam Style broke out, I was like, whoa, how is this possible? Like, and then when they became popular, I actually, I wasn't really into pop music, and then you showed me like how big and popular they were. Kind of like blew me away. And then they're like changing perceptions, especially for me in the United States. Like, there's no like Asian male like sex symbols really in the US until like they really started coming onto the scene, I feel like, which is great, and we're starting to see more of it, and I think it's like awesome.
You never watched my podcast on John Reese Live?
No, I didn't see it.
So you actually don't know how I became an ARMY?
No, you did. You told me one time.
Oh, I did?
All right, tell me the story. Then tell me the story. I didn't watch your podcast. Or where were you going with this? Let's go. Yeah, tell me.
I had watched BTS first performance in America on like the award show DNA. My thought when I was watching them perform DNA was like, it's so rare to see like Asian people my age performing on a stage like that, and like the crowd was cheering so hard for them too, and I was like, that's amazing. Like, I had never seen people that excited to see like someone not white on a stage. When I was young, I was like early 2000s. There's not Asian people on screens.
Exactly.
So like the shows I watched, there's like the nerd Asian or
exactly.
Yeah.
Keep going. I mean, like, exactly. Like, that's part of the mission of this company, is to help empower, in particular, like Asian American, Pacific Islander voices, because representation matters. Like, seeing someone that looks like you on screen that is not some sort of stereotype of either like the nerd or something like that, it makes a difference. You just want to see, like, we know the truth that there's so many facets to what it means to be Asian American. I mean, there's literally billions of us out there, and like, we run the gamut from, professionals to people that are bad at math to, everything in between. You can be a wonderful actor and singer and performer, or and so on, right? And like, I hear you. I completely hear you. And that's sort of like the mission that we're on, and like to see them like excelling and succeeding at the highest possible levels is inspiring. So, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and anyway, the reactors, I fell down the rabbit hole through reactors because I didn't know anything about BTS besides they were Korean. Mm-hmm. But I watched all of their like videos through reactors because I just wanted to see what people thought of like an Asian Asian people my age, kind of. So yeah, that's how I saw all their videos, and then eventually like watching them on my own and stuff.
Because you were interested in it, and then same with like Ashley's like interested in K-pop or whatever, and like I am not just whatever. I'm like kind of snobbish about like pop things, because there's the hipster in me is like, oh, if it's popular, I don't want to know about it or whatever. But then like when you were like, and you and Ashley are so into it, I can't help but like wonder. So then I was like, okay, let me see, and then like I start to see again like these guys have something for everyone. I feel like and I think like all the comments always say that too, like, oh, what genre are you into or what have you, and like, and when I say they have something for everyone, it's more than just like style of music. It's like, oh, are you into dance and performance? Like they have that too. Are you into like cool music videos and like filmmaking? Like they have that too. And like, and of course like the songs and the music are like super catchy and like, you just kind of like want to move to it, or emotional or what have you, right? And it's like, so again, just seeing them like at such a high level is so inspiring on so many different levels, artistically, socially. Does that make sense? Like being Asian American, all that. Let's keep going.
I think they're like more enthusiastic than anyone.
Can you describe that enthusiasm?
They brought a boy band from Korea to Grammys.
My next guest can only be described as an international music phenomenon. They have made Time Magazine's most influential list. They're the first Korean act to reach #1 on the Billboard charts, and they just became the first group since the Beatles to earn 3 #1 albums in less than a year.
The 7-member boy band has broken the record for the best-selling album here in Korea. Now, this album, released this April, has sold 3.4 million copies as of May.
BTS had the #1 best-selling physical album in the United States in the first half of this year.
Becoming the first Korean artist to win 2 trophies at the Billboard Music Awards in Las Vegas on Wednesday. The awards were Top Social Artist and Top Duo Group.
BTS has been named the Group of the Year on Variety's Hitmakers list.
BTS performed at the U.S.'s most watched New Year's concert, New Year's Rockin' Eve.
Their upcoming U.S. tour is one of the hottest tickets on Earth. Even more remarkable, considering most of their songs are not in English.
They're headlining 2 sold-out nights at Wembley Stadium, performing for 60,000 screaming fans.
한국 공연이랑 다를 게 없이 큰 공연을 하는 것 자체가 우리가 여기서도 이렇게 공연을 크게 해요? 라고 다시 한번 되물을 만큼 그냥 와 우리가 성공했구나.
처음 했던 악셀 콘서트는 한 번이면 2,000명이 들었어요. 22대에서 23대 정도 징그를 하게 된 거죠. 그냥 어떻게 보면 뭐 기적 같은 수치 아닐까.
An economic analysis showed that BTS's last concert in Seoul created nearly as much economic gains as the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics in early 2018.
It is estimated that roughly 100,000 foreigners came to Korea during that time. That number includes 23,000 foreign fans who came solely to see the concerts and their companions.
24% of ARMY were male, while a clear majority, 76%, were female. 24% were 10 to 19-year-olds, 26% were 20-year-olds, 19% were 30-year-olds, and hold on, this doesn't seem right. 27% were 40 to 49 years old.
Hi, I'm Sam and I'm 34. Hi, I'm Cheryl. I'm just over 50. I'm 56.
I'm 64.
I'm 33. I'm 36 years old. Almost 48 years old.
I'm 44 years old. I have 2 children.
BTS, like, telling everyone to love themselves, to, like, be who you are. And right. And, having a group of, like, musicians and, like, really talented people talking about, like, better yourself, love yourself, and, become something good in life. It's actually good.
I love the band for their message.
Yeah.
They're giving
people who are misunderstood the belief that what they're doing is right, and I think that's very important. You should love yourself.
For a group that is such larger than life, that it can be so easy to like dehumanize them.
Yeah.
They really do a good job of keeping themselves like really like just natural and humble.
I've never seen a whole concert.
It's astonishing. I don't know how they do it. They are amazing performers.
And we load up, and we had a blast. We got out of our seats, we got right down in the pit and broke a sweat dancing.
As a group, BTS has previously teamed up with UNICEF and spoken in front of the UN about the importance of self-love for global youth.
We have learned to love ourselves. So now I urge you to speak yourself.
방탄이라는 게 이제 총알을 막아낸다는 의미잖아요. 이제 총알처럼
막아내겠다.
쏟아지는 편견과 억압에서 이제 당당히 저희 세대의 생각과 가치를 지켜내겠다는 그런 심오한 뜻이 담겨 있어요.
아, 좋다.
I'm finding how to love myself. You know, I didn't know anything about love myself, but you guys taught me through your eyes, through your love, through your tweets, through your letters, through everything. You guys taught me and inspired me how to love myself. And loving myself is my whole life goal until my death. And you know, what is loving myself? What is loving yourself? I don't know. Who can define their own method and the way of loving myself? It's our mission to define our way to love ourselves. It's never intended, but it feels like I'm using you guys to love myself. So I want to say one thing. Please use me. Please use BTS to love yourselves. Because you guys taught me how to love myself every day. Thank you so much. We love you guys. 사랑합니다.
This part is actually really similar to ours.
Oh, yes.
Like I never watched this video before, so, but it's very similar to how ours looks too. Even this background song.
Nice. Cool. That's great.
I like xCeleste videos. She's good. That age thing, like, you would think maybe that's not true, but I think that that statistic is right, because like on the island we have a bunch of cup sleeve events and like hundreds of armies like come to these things, and a lot of them are like in that higher, older age range.
Oh.
So yeah, you would think that maybe it's like a lot of people my age, but it's actually a lot of older people, which is great too.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and they bring like their kids, and their kids are like little, so there's like really armies of all ages there.
Very cool. This was a great video. This is almost like a very compact version of your introduction.
Yeah, a lot of the same clips
Yeah,
too.
I've always heard xCeleste's stuff. And then, we saw that, I saw that one video too.
She makes a ton of good videos.
Yeah.
Like the whole storyline video, that was hers too.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe he'll watch the hardships one next, because a lot of people recommend that too.
Oh, okay.
And you were saying like you didn't know any of that happened, so.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Awesome. For me, again, I'm just gonna reiterate. There's inspiring on so many levels. Like, especially for me, the artistic level, it just shows that like, okay, I do have to love myself, and I do have to like put my message out there, and like we need to go make stuff. and like maybe we can get to some like higher and higher level and kind of share it with more and more people. I'm not talking about the reactions. I'm talking about like all the movies and stuff that we want to make or that I want to make.
Something that I always think about is like in the beginning for like a few years they weren't getting like anything, like they would get hated on if anything.
Mm-hmm.
But they worked like so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were pretty much monster rookies. Like if you look at the performances they did, those were like high level performances, and they practiced so hard to do them, and then they weren't getting like the good feedback that they were hoping for. So I always think like, how did they get through that? Like how did they have the motivation to keep going? I'm sure maybe you've felt it, like if you work so hard on a video and you put it out and like no one watches it. Mm-hmm. Like that feeling. I'm sure every filmmaker has felt that feeling.
I feel that way with like Waikiki PD, for example. I love it. I think it's amazing. At least for speaking for myself and maybe what they went through too, in terms of like an artist's journey, is that I think for me, like I'm making it for myself first, and then if like-minded people enjoy it as well, that's like awesome. I can't not do this, if that makes sense. Like I have to do this. I've had other jobs in my life. Like I did real estate for a while. I would work a real estate job 40 hours a week, but then I would wake up 5 in the morning and I would edit from 5 in the morning until I had to leave at like 8:30, and then I would rush to go to work, be there from 9 till whenever, and then even at lunchtime I'd bring a laptop and I would like work on editing on my lunch break, and then after work I would like edit some more and like render. And like back then, like it was like it took way longer to edit because like computers were slower, and like we would like film on tape, and I would have to like, you'd have to wait, and it'd be like real time. So if we film for like 30 minutes, you'd have to like wait there for the whole 30 minutes while it recorded into the computer, if that makes sense. It's like the call of the art form, or the thing that you just really want to do, and everything else is like to help you do the thing that you love to do.
I think RM Namjoon recently, I think he said something like, if you don't feel like you're gonna die if you don't do it, then is it worth creating?
Yeah.
Like that.
Like it's just the thing, like I will do this no matter what. So maybe for anybody out there that's watching, it's like, don't feel like, oh, you gotta have it all figured out, you know, at a certain age or time. Like we're all on our own journeys.
They have lots of songs about that too.
Yeah. Any other things? This was really good. I'm glad we watched this together too, especially. Mm-hmm. So until next time, we'll see you guys later.